And now, the general weather around Alaska.
Looking at today's hazardous weather graphic, winter storm warning continues out for tonight until 3 p.m. Thursday for the Yukon Delta and St. Lawrence Island due to winds gusting 50 miles an hour with blowing snow, reducing visibilities. Otherwise, winter weather advisories out here. Eastern Yukon Delta, across Norton Sound, Seward Peninsula area for conditions that aren't as bad as in these warning areas. And from there, looking at satellite imagery, you can see low pressure here over the Bering Sea and a front extending up into the interior, kind of breaking up here, and then back to the southeast and southward there, west of the Panhandle. And rolling that ahead, you can see how this continues to dissipate as it pushes eastward, not really bringing much precipitation with it, all the way up to the Arctic coast there across the North Slope. This one a little bit more precipitation with it, but it's falling to pieces too as it moves into south central Alaska on down to Kodiak Island with clouds extending across Norton Sound. And yet another band here over the, just making landfall there along the southwest coast. Otherwise improving conditions over the Aleutians. And the main low center slowly drifting northward here, roughly at the surface in about this position currently, with the front pushing up towards St. Lawrence Island, down across the southwest interior. Then that other band here signified by this trough here, bringing a few snow showers along the Alaska Range. Mixed rain and snow showers along the North Gulf Coast, or areas of mixed rain and snow that extend down toward Yakutat. Dry day over the Panhandle today, as well as the central interior, on up into the Yukon Flats, Koyukuk Valley area to the North Slope. Maybe a few flurries on the western Arctic coast. A little bit more widespread associated with this trough. Otherwise, the low pressure center producing pretty gusty winds here at the gradient along the southwest part of the state. Not as strong as what we were seeing last night and yesterday. And another trough here brought some snow showers in across the Pribilof Islands. And that snow shower condition scattering out with diminishing winds here over the Aleutians on up in toward the western Alaska Peninsula. And for tonight, look for some clearing, dry conditions for the peninsula, kind of a break ahead of this next storm. It's going to start moving in and spreading a chance of rain late tonight to the eastern Aleutian areas. Scattered snow showers, southern Bering Sea, more of a snow pattern here with the main weakening low, and stays with those gusty winds. Again, the Yukon Delta, St. Lawrence Island will continue to have the winter storm warnings out tonight through tomorrow into the afternoon. And then this front weakening, just a narrow band of some light snow with it across the Kuskokwim Valley, possibly into Cook Inlet. Mixed precipitation chance of here, Kenai Peninsula into Prince William Sound, as well as the North Gulf Coast. Weak low developing on this front right about in this position here. Brings a chance of moisture to the coastal areas of the Panhandle. Staying dry with light winds, Copper River Basin, northern Susitna Valley, up across the mountains into the Tanana Valley, back to the northwest part of the state. Maybe some flurries there for the central and western Arctic coast. And then for tomorrow, this system moves northward here, or northeastward, kind of the front pushing up northeastward here. That'll bring increasing wind and rain. Kodiak Island, increasing winds, or windy wet day here for the eastern Aleutians, Alaska Peninsula, with increasing mixed precipitation trying to get into Bristol Bay. Trough here brings cloudier skies with better chance of some moisture here along the North Gulf Coast, especially southern Cook Inlet, Kenai Peninsula area, and into Prince William Sound, western Prince William Sound, better chance of some rain or snow there than say over toward Valdez. Cordova, just a risk. Mostly dry for the southeast coast, dry with some clearing over the interior all the way up to the Arctic coast. This low continuing to weaken, but very close to St. Lawrence Island, so periods of light snow will continue there with some of that snow up along the northwest coast, but really not reaching Point Lay, more like Cape Lisburne area. Scattered snow showers out over the Bering Sea with fairly light winds, including the Aleutians. And for the day on Friday, that low pulls up into southwestern Bristol Bay, or just north of the Alaska Peninsula there. Gusty northwest winds, colder temperatures, snow showers into the eastern Aleutians. Snow showers scattered across the entire central and western Bering Sea, and an area of snow with this trough extending northward there across St. Lawrence Island and the Bering Strait, but dry for the most part. for the Seward Peninsula there. Much of the interior, northern half of the state, dry, cloudy with maybe some isolated snow showers here from Denali Park over toward northern Kuskokwim Valley, maybe Tonelita, those areas. Periods of rain and snow, south central Alaska here, especially in the upslope areas, southeastern exposures of the terrain there, but periods of rain and gusty winds for the North Gulf Coast. Also becoming windy and wet for the Panhandle as that front approaches, with conditions deteriorating throughout the day into the afternoon. And for the lows tonight, 20s for the most part across the Panhandle, 10 to 15 below in the Copper River Basin, 5 to 20 below central eastern interior up to the Arctic coast, and then single numbers here, maybe 5 below for Nikolai and McGrath, though otherwise into the 20s out over the Seward Peninsula to the southwest coast, upper 20s for the Pribilofs, upper 20s, lower 30s for the Aleutians. Highs for tomorrow, mid to upper 30s for Bristol Bay, lower 30s, Yukon-Kuskokwim Delta up to the Seward Peninsula. Right around freezing for St. Paul, lower 30s for the Aleutians, upper 30s Kodiak Island, mid 20s here, mid to upper 20s, south central Alaska, and still a little below zero over the eastern interior with temperatures running 5 to 10 there from Tanana up toward Bettles, and 0 to 5 below eastern Arctic coast, 0 to 5 above for the central and west side, and highs near 30 in the northern southeast coast and near 40 down toward Prince of Wales Island. And then lows, lower 20s, northern Panhandle, and lower 30s to the south, 5 to 20 below up over the interior, and south central Alaska, anywhere from, say, for the Cook Inlet area, Kenai Peninsula, lows in the mid-20s, upper teens for the Susitna Valley, 10 below for the Copper River Basin, lower to mid-30s, Bristol Bay, Kodiak Island, and in the 20s for the northern Bering Sea, there to St. Lawrence Island, upper 20s for the central Aleutians, followed by highs in the lower 30s out that way, mid-30s here for the Alaska Peninsula to near 40 around Sand Point and Chignik, 41 for Kodiak, upper 30s Bristol Bay, and the Kenai Peninsula, Cook Inlet area may rise above freezing, definitely well for Homer, near 40 there, Seward around 39, lower 30s northern Panhandle, upper 30s to the south, and anywhere from 10 to 20 up over the Tanana Valley area. Definitely back above zero there, as well as all the way up through the Brooks Range, Arctic coast 5 to 10 for the highs there, and near 40 for the Pribilof Islands.